So what is a JavaScript events? Okay, so why it is required? Okay, so JavaScript events are related to the forms and the controls inside the form only. Okay, so 1 minute longer. So JavaScript events are related to the forms and the controls inside the forms only. Okay, so that means what are the controls inside the form? So those controls having the JavaScript events. Okay, so each form has onload event and onsave event, so which can accept the JavaScript methods we can able to trigger. Okay, so for example, on the form onload, when the form loads this JavaScript code, it will execute. On save, when you click on a save, the first the JavaScript is executes and it will, the event it will get saved. Okay, so each field has the on change event. So for the form, you have a two events, on save and on load. For the each and every field on the form, you will have a on change event. Okay. You can also find the events for the tab. For each and every tab, you have a event tab state change. Okay, tab state change we have, and iframe you have an event on ready state complete. Okay, so these are the events we have. We can able to trigger the JavaScript from the, these are the events. So I am explaining one more time. So we can able to trigger the JavaScripts in a CRM only for this following events, that is onload, onsave, on change of the field, on tab state change, on ready state, on iframe ready state complete. Okay, only these events only we can able to trigger the JavaScript code. Okay, so the previous versions like a CRM 2011, before the CRM 2011. Okay, so we it will support the CRM form dot all object collection. So CRM form dot all object collection, it is a CRM 4.4 code. Okay, so that means CRM form dot all, it will use the all the controls in a collection, in a object collection, but this is not supported in a CRM 2013 onwards. Okay, so still this is a CRM form dot all, it will support in the, it's a 4.4 code, but still it will support in the CRM 2011. Okay, but whereas when you are coming to the CRM 2013, there is no use. Okay, so in a CRM 2011 onwards, they have provided a code standard like a xrm dot page. xrm dot page, it's a collection. Okay, so earlier version it's a CRM form, but CRM 2011 onwards it is a xrm dot page. It is a object collection is to be used for the CRM 2013 and 2011 also it will work. Okay, so these are the JavaScript controls, and we have the, this is a page control. Okay, it will use the all the controls on the page. Okay, so next coming to the form events. Okay, so here we have a form events. It will give, this will give the, we can able to attach the form events to the first JavaScript libraries, we need to add it to the form, and here we can able to add the events. This is form controller, we have a onload and onsave event. Okay, so this is an onload event. Okay, so onload event occurs every time the window of the entity is open. Okay, so whenever the window of the entity, whenever open any record, this onload event it will trigger. Okay, so on save event it will occurs every time the save icon and save and close button you press. On change event it it will find every time the value of the field is changed. Okay, so we can able to attach the this one is like this. On the field properties if you go, and we can able to find it the that event. Okay, this tab state change. So every the tabs in MS CRM it has a expand and collapse behavior. Expand and collapse behavior. So whenever this tab state changes, so like whenever it is expanded, so this event is triggered. So whenever expanded or collapsed, so the JavaScript it will trigger on the tab. Okay, so on ready state complete event, it will find when the content of the iframe has been loaded. Okay, so we can attach the here in the iframe controller. Okay, so this is a form events. Okay, so basically we have it two types of the programs we have. So that is, one is the client side program. So the first one is the normal. If you go to the any programming language, okay, so any application development, okay, if you go to the two types of the programs we have. Okay, client side programming. Okay, second one is the server side programming. Okay, so client side programming, the first one, the client side programming means, so here the client side programs languages, what are the languages we have? Okay, JavaScript. Okay, okay, JavaScript and jQuery. Okay, so Angular and all we have. So that is advanced JavaScript. Okay, so now here we have a server side programming languages like a Java, okay, C sharp, like that we have a languages. Okay, so basically, so the client side programming, whatever you write the code in a JavaScript and all, it will execute in the client mission. Okay, so whoever the user using the system, it will execute in their user browser. Okay, so for example, the field validations and all, it should be in the client side. So if you are use the server side programming, so the request it will go to the server. So okay, so it will execute in the server and it will give the response. Okay, so I will do this with a simple image. Okay, so for example, if this is a server, is a client 1 and client 2. Okay. Okay. So here, if you use the server side program, okay. So this is a server client. Okay, so two clients and this is the server. So your application is hosted here, your code and all it is hosted in the server. So when the user is requested with the some URL, okay, so for example I will put the some image. Okay, so when the client is requested, okay, so it will come to it will go to the request to the server, and it will download, it will open the web page, it will give the response, and it will open the client browser. Okay, so the client side programming, it will execute in the client, in a browser, client browser. Okay, so it may be in a internet explorer or Chrome or Mozilla or Firefox. Okay, so all these client side programming will execute in the client mission. Okay, so if you are using the server side program, it will execute in the server and you will get a response. Okay, for each and every small validation, if you put on the server side, it if you put on a server side, it will take your system performance, which will go down. Why? Because see, this client is requested the application and this client is requested this application. Okay, two clients it will requested the same application. If you are put in the server, the bandwidth and the performance, it will go down. Okay, so that is the reason they introduced the client side programming. Okay, so wherever the javascript code you want, okay, so at that time, wherever the code has to be executed in the client mission. Okay, so at the time you will go for the uh, client javascript. Okay, so that is a basically server side programming and client side programming. Server side program, it will execute on the server only. Okay, so if the client side programming, it will execute in the browser, client browser. Okay, so it will reduce the server burden on the servers. Okay, so that is a basic architecture of the server side and client and server architecture. Okay, so here coming to the our MSCRM. Okay, so wherever the JavaScript we will use. Okay, so wherever you want to do some validations. Okay, so the validations means, so all the validations like a form onload, on save. For example, on the form onload, you want to disable certain fields, you want to hide the certain fields, you want to set the some standard value to the form. Okay, so all these kind of operations we will do with the, we have a only way we can able to achieve with the JavaScript only. Okay, while loading up the form, okay, new form, while loading up the form, we don't have any control to call the server side program. Okay, so at the best way is the, we have to use the JavaScript. On the form onload, we can able to call, we can able to do some operations with the JavaScript only. Similarly, at the on save. Okay, so on save request, the whenever click on the save button, it will first trigger the JavaScript on the that event, and it will go to the next level. It will go to the plugins and workflows and all. It will trigger in the next. Okay, so that is the client side programming. Now we can see how we can attach the small JavaScript method to the onload. Settings. Okay, so simple. If I give this here, go to the I'm using the account entity to customize. Okay, so click on the account and open the form. Okay, click on the form properties. Here we can see these are form properties. Here we have to add the all the JavaScript libraries to here. Okay, so next we can see the form events. This is a form events. Here the control name is form, and we can see the events here, onload and onsave. Okay, so the first thing we have to create the web resource. Okay, click on add. If we have already created web resource, JavaScript web resource, we will create. If you have, we can use it. If you don't have, we can create a new one from here. Okay, so give the name. Okay, just I'm giving a JS account dot JS. Display name also should be. Okay, so in web resources we can able to create these 10 types of the files. We can able to create it like a HTML, style sheet, and script, XML, PNG, so JPG, GIF, Silverlight, and style sheet, XSL, and icon format. Okay, so these all the JavaScript web resources we whenever you want the like a image, we can able to create a web resource for that. Okay, so for now we will use the JavaScript script. Okay, and text executor. Okay, so for this one text executor. Okay, so here we have to write the method. Okay, so in a JavaScript, the method it will start with the function. It is all are small function and the method name. Okay, for example, I'm giving a account onload. Okay, okay, we have to put the function is a keyword. So with every JavaScript method, it should have the function. Okay, so then only it will treat as the function. So the function is a keyword for the JavaScript methods, and the function, and we have to give the method name. So here I am just giving a alert. Okay, okay, onload fire. Okay, click on OK. Okay, save and publish, and copy the method name. So we have to call the exact method name in that. Close the web resource, and it will select it will give the web resource name and select it to the form. Okay, it is coming to the form JS. and here event we should attach. Click on add. Here we have to give the method name. Okay, and here we have to check this one enabled. When you click on OK, so the event is attached here. So on the onload on this form, okay, the account form when you are loads this JavaScript method, it will trigger. Click on OK, save and publish. Okay, just go to the account, click on new. Okay, so now we get this method JavaScript, whatever the alert we have given. So just I have given a small message. Okay, so this is an onload file. Okay, so now our code is getting executed. So similarly we can able to attach the events for on save. So similarly we can able to attach the event for on save. Here if you select the on save, okay, similarly we can add it the event, whatever the method we can define this from this thing, and we can give the method name. Okay, so similarly if you go to the here, select the field. For example, if I select this field on change, the value change, you want to trigger some JavaScript method, so here we can attach add on change. The field on change, here we can give the method name and we can add it. Okay, for similarly for this tab. Okay, so if I click on this tab, if you see the events here, here we can add it. Okay, for the iframe also it will be similar. So that is the form events and all. Okay,